Studio C. Two guys who ask, wonder what they're doing in T-Town right now? Not this. It's South Alabama's #1 podcast, Drive Time with DJ and KJ.
Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Drive Time, the best worst show ever. Hope everybody had a great long weekend, rested up, had some fun in the sun, fun with family, friends, whatever your cup of tea may have been. Hope you had a good one. Good morning, Alan Howard, Lee Jordan. Good morning to you, sir. Connie B. Good morning. Hello, Heather Godwin. Jesse James is in this morning. Good morning. So is Kinsley. Good morning, Kinsley.
Good morning, Kinsley.
Just talking about her. Hope she had a good time in the pool, swimming around. I'm sure she did. Good morning, Onar. Kimberly Brooks, good morning to you. Terry Belding, good morning. Sandy Townsend, good morning to you. Nick Green, good crowd in this morning. Cheyenne, good morning. Good morning, Kenwood.
Morning, DJ. How was the Memorial Day weekend?
Well, started off Friday night, date night. Lindsay and I got dudded up, went down to Nico's and Pace, had a good meal.
Had a big time.
Did a little shopping afterwards. Got back, had bigger plans on Saturday. Had our lawn chairs, towels, sunscreen. Going to spend the day at Bonnie Beach.
Bonnie Beach.
Couldn't find it. Rode up and down. Went into the sawmill. Couldn't find it. Looking for the white sand.
Now, what vicinity were you looking in?
Well, like I said, they're at the Sawmill restaurant. We pulled in there.
Yeah.
Thought that it might open up back in the back. Looked for a, what do they call it, a spin wheel or whatever
Sure.
it was called. And looked for the lifeguard stand. I thought the white sand would be a giveaway, but evidently it's no longer there.
Was, I'd be lying if I said I didn't even know that. Is that place still wide open? I mean, I didn't even know.
No,
apparently it's not.
It's not. Saw a mud hole.
So it's in the same category with McCall Beach.
Bonnie Beach is gone by the wayside. Bonnie Beach is no longer.
So you had your case quarters. You were all ready.
Looking for the concession stand.
Looking for the concession stand, the lifeguard stand.
So we checked out, went to Plan B, went to yard work. Lindsay wasn't happy. Did a good job in the flower beds, though.
Well, that can't be as fun as going to Bonnie Beach. There's just no way.
It was disappointing, but what do you do? We tried.
Let me ask you this: with a lot of these creeks locally that have been kind of gated off with hunting camps and that kind of thing, are there any like local creeks to go to anymore? I mean, that you could actually go and, I realize there's some private ones, people have and things, but I don't know about any local.
Am I hearing music or is it just me?
No, you are. Let me go fix that.
I hadn't heard it until just then. What?
No, it's from the falls.
Okay. Well, when we were first in here, I didn't hear it, and all of a sudden, I've either had a concussion or I'm hearing music or something's going on. But yeah, a lot of people got on the water this weekend with creeks and rivers. I saw a lot of float trips, kayaks, tubes, canoes.
I'll tell you something else. A lot of people got on the water at that beach.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
So to answer your question, as far as accessing local creeks, I guess there's one or two. I know that, here in town, that's a public creek. I guess that people get in, burnt corn.
Yeah.
Coming down around town or whatnot. But it was a good weekend to be on the water. The weather cooperated for the most part, I believe. Certainly in the areas I was at. But a good 3-day weekend just does a lot for morale.
I just know that there are, or there seems to be, most of the place, like Edgewood. Can you even go to Edgewood? Isn't it blocked off?
I don't know that you can access Edgewood anymore.
Right. So
certainly not where we used to access it from. There may be something further upstream or downstream, but yeah.
I tell you, I see a lot of people going to floating the Sapulga and places like that. That's a beautiful place.
That's a beautiful float.
It really is.
A lot of history up and down the Sapulga.
Yeah, there's some really cool, if you like take pictures, a lot of great pictures that you can take on that float for sure. I'll tell you what, between Kirkland and Bruton on Murder Creek's a great float.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fun. But I'll tell you too, and you know, it was a little humid Friday, but Saturday and Sunday had a little breeze going, and wasn't that bad. Now yesterday, I'm gonna tell you, that wind started blowing yesterday, and it blew hard for a long time. So and I think it got worse as the night went on, or I'm pretty sure it did anyway. So
I'm gonna tell you, which I talked about it when we were in here Friday, and I was pissed this weekend. The movies didn't come on, not like they have in the past. They showed Saving Private Ryan, which is a good movie,
right?
But none of the oldies that I saw came on, and I was disappointed with that.
Well, you know, I thought Memorial Day weekend was supposed to be filled with old school classic war movies.
I guess the programming has changed, or the new people in charge choose not to play it. But I woke up early Monday, looking forward to getting my TV guide highlighted
midway.
Yeah, and none of it. I didn't get any of it.
Do you still get the TV guide?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't even know they still made the TV guide.
Gotta have the TV guide.
So let me take that back. Anybody that can get hold of Sex Panther should be able to get hold of the TV guide. I bet you still get Reader's Digest as well, don't you?
Sure. Ed McMahon and the Publisher House sweepstakes.
I take it with you sitting here, they've never knocked on your door with one of those big checks.
Not yet. Not yet.
Would you believe it if they did?
Sure, I would.
I'm going to tell you this. Ed McMahon had to come back from the dead and knock on my door and tell me that I'd want it before I'd believe it.
Yeah.
Because I would think it was a prank. You know, I mean, I told you this. I don't know if I ever told this on like public or not, but so I had a producer and I didn't realize who it was. I thought it was a prank. I had a producer from the Ellen show call me about it. Well, during the first Dash for Cash.
You sure it wasn't T-Bone?
No. I thought it was a BS call, really.
Yeah.
Like, I hung up on him 3 times. Because I'm like,
yeah.
Listen, I don't want to hear any of this. So they sent me, then they started sending me emails and text messages. And they, anyway, convinced me who they were. And I answered it and spoke with them and what have you, and it was a crazy that was crazy to have that, because they were talking about what we were doing here in B-Town, doing all that, and I was like, that's kind of crazy, but there again, you're talking about phone calls and receiving phone calls and stuff. That was back during the time where I didn't know if Tony might be trying to get us get back at what we had.
Well, evidently I missed the shows. Timmy Wiggins says they were on the American Movie Channel. I couldn't find them.
There you go, man.
I typed it in the guide, the whole 9 yards. I figure somebody had to have had them. That's a tradition.
Yeah, well, there you go.
God, dog, I missed them.
Jesse James said that flip phone don't have streaming services.
Hey.
Hey, good morning, Adam and Chef Adam. Good morning, Chef Adam. Chef Adam had a birthday and an anniversary, it looked like.
He had a birthday on Friday.
Was that a birthday dinner or was that an anniversary dinner? Both. I don't know. I may be wrong, but I can tell you this. It's always cool to see another chef going and eating somewhere else. And he looked like he had him a big time eating down at Gather.
Yeah.
And Atmore. Of course, any of you that's ever been down there and ate, that's a great place to eat. And, I want to say something about that too. We were went to a couple restaurants over the weekend or what have you. And, I was pleased to see, I say pleased, restaurant workers and waitresses and waiters and that type type of job, they've been hit hard during this time. And, they live off of, make their money off of tips. What do they get paid? Like $2 or something an hour, $2 to $30, $2.20, whatever it is. And, watched a whole table, about 10 or 12 people get up. You say, well, they're supposed to add that. Well, they griped about the bill and got up and left. Didn't leave a tip, didn't leave anything. Nothing.
That's not nice.
Yeah, and I heard that heard the manager say that waiter was going to have to pay for that table because they weren't satisfied with the service or the food they had received. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I think it was just that group of people's way of getting out of there without having to pay.
Yeah.
Myself. But I guess I'm saying all that to say this. Tip your waiters and your bartenders, and they've been out of work for a while, and need to make sure and do that, because that's something that I think a lot of people, maybe now more than ever, they think about it, but I don't think in the past it's been that thought about that much. Where hey, just because they're there working doesn't mean they're getting paid $20 an hour.
Got to take care of your servers. Yeah,
you got to, especially if you want. It was a birthday. There you go, shove at them. So, good morning, Joshua Gibson. Let's see. What kind of B said? Dude in Bangladesh called to tell her she won $16 million from Publishers Clearinghouse. All you had to do was send your bank route number and account.
Sounds fair.
Hey, I don't know why you didn't send that, Connie. I mean, that sounds legit to me, don't it? You?
Yeah, sure.
Do you even? Like, I've got to where I don't even, unless I know the number, I don't even answer it anymore. At all.
If I don't have you in, I'm not going to take it.
I don't answer it. And I don't answer it because, number one, I don't need a warranty for a car. Number two, if it's not that, it's something about my credit card. They come up with some good ones now.
Yeah, they do.
Or what about the ones that call you and try to sell you some computer security? That's always fun, isn't it? So anyway, it looks like you just missed out on the movie weekend.
Evidently, the AMC. I called myself checking that one. That's one of the go-to stations that I will frequent. But I don't know.
Good morning, Naomi Lindsay. That's right, Connie. You can't afford the tip. You can't afford to eat out. I mean, just kind of part of it, It's
part of it.
Yeah. At least that's what I've always thought. So, anyway, so no Bonnie Beach.
No Bonnie Beach.
Yard work galore.
I won't say galore. I didn't get all of it. I went at a comfortable pace. I went out there trying to win any awards or anything, just trying to tend to some things that needed tended to, and still left some for another day.
Did you get out enough to see the effects of the lightened restrictions, if you will, by the governor?
I didn't, but I did see something yesterday that made my heart swell. Babe Ruth baseball practice. First team out yesterday afternoon. Tim McDonald had his team up at Miller Cruz knocking the dust off. And I'm excited that we're fixing to get some of that going. It's certainly going to be in a, going to be smart about how we go about it. And, of course, try to employ the social distancing guidelines as best possible. And it was nice to see it coming back a little bit.
That term is there for us forever now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to hear that term? Do you think that'll die down in the next 2 or 3 months, or
no?
You think we're going to hear it from now on?
No, I think it'll ramp up even more as more activities come up.
I don't know that that's a good thing.
Well,
I mean, I don't mean as far as spreading the COVID. What I mean is, by nature, humans are social people, are they not?
They are.
So, would you say that a lot of frustration that you see right now with people post on social media and things, would you say a lot of that frustration is probably built on the foundation of being locked up in the house for the last 6 weeks or so?
I think that's a part of it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I just don't, I mean, now, like you pointed out, you say the days of the handshake are gone.
I think so.
But what about your huggers and people like that? I know you and I don't fall into that category.
I am a hugger.
Oh, you are?
I'm a huge hugger.
Well, I am not.
Yeah, I'm a huge hugger. And this, even if I have a lapse, the other people let me know real quick. 'Cause I'll step here and all of a sudden you see a lock and load. Hey, my bad. I'm backing up. The moonwalk is coming back. The moonwalk is coming back.
So you think that's how it is. So oh my Lord. You said, well, hey, listen. You said Tracy Steele posted?
I didn't.
There was
Tracy was on the water this weekend.
a false fingernail in her salad
Ugh.
once at a place that she won't name.
That's another good reason not to eat salad.
Yeah. Well, I can understand not tipping on that deal.
Good morning, Aunt Faye.
That's for sure. Morning, Aunt Faye. So you all about buying a warranty on a 20-year-old truck, huh, Josh? Hey, I don't blame you. Fact is, though, the problem is most of the time there's nothing to it. So, anyway, so I tell you this, you can't tell on the coast that anything really crazy. Well, let me say, I know it was a holiday weekend, but it was kind of crazy. I mean, there were a lot of people out. There were a lot of people out on the water. There were a lot of boats out on the water. I don't know if you've seen pictures of Crab Island or Floribama Yacht Club or any of that kind of thing. I don't know that social distancing was in effect at those places.
Yeah, I don't think they've been exercising it in those areas the last couple of weeks.
I don't think so.
But doesn't the hot temperatures are supposed to help keep this thing beat back some? Is that a myth?
Well, listen.
Or who knows?
I've heard people say that yes, and I've heard people say no. I don't know. I know this. I know that if you look at the if you look at the places that seem to be opening back up quicker in the South, and I mean the hotter states, they don't seem to have the number that some of the others do. Now, with that being said, they may come out today and have 10 times. I don't know, but
Speaking of, we're going to have Thursday. We're going to have Debbie Gist
back in
with us, and the other young lady that came the last time.
Strawbridge.
No, was that who it was?
Well, she was kin to David Strawbridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to be in with us.
I think it was her brother-in-law, maybe is what she told us.
But I'm looking forward to getting their information and their thoughts on where we are, where they thought we would be, and where they think we might be going. And one question I'm going to have for them, and of course everything is up until this point, is how our medical facilities have held up with regards to infected people.
So what do you do?
What do you mean?
As far as you're talking about being safe around, if I'm incorrect about this, tell me, and somebody out there can tell me. But you're wearing the mask keeps you from spreading it, but it doesn't keep you from getting it. Is what I've read and heard and that kind of. Have you seen the same information?
I don't know that I have.
I can tell you this: there are 3% wearing masks. The other 97% are not. At least where I've been.
In Walmart, it's a little closer to 50-50.
Here in Bruton?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I can tell you in Walmart on the coast,
yeah,
not the case.
Yeah. Walmart, Bruton, Alabama is 50-50.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, so let me ask you this. I know we've talked about this. If they come out with a vaccine, are you going to be one to go get it?
I will not.
And we talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about this already.
I will not.
I know you said that you weren't that interested in that.
I'm not a medicine taker by nature. I don't do antibiotics. I don't. I've never taken the flu shot. I'm just a little leery of it.
Connie says outdoors you have risk. Indoors it can spread through breathing. So if you plan to breathe with others indoors, it's a bigger risk. Okay, well that makes sense. You know, like I said, I don't know about the heat thing. I know I've heard that on several articles I've read. I've heard and read that is a problem. Mm-hmm. Not problem. That is actually the case. That the heat does. But then I've seen other people write that they don't really know that if that's a fair assessment or not. But then again, more things come out about this every other day. Last week, the CDC come out and said, well, now we figured out that you can't get it just by touching things like we thought you could. So
new information.
Yeah. I mean, so it's, I mean, and I'm not saying it's it's an ever changing thing. That's why I'm saying about the social distancing, the handshakes, the hugging, that kind of thing. Listen, I remember after September 11th, everyone in this country was united. We were all one. You remember that?
I do.
And it lasted about 2 weeks. And I'm not making fun of September 11th. What I'm saying is that people in this world are fickle. I just think that as soon as this thing is corralled and there are, things that are done that can keep it and basically relegate it to like the common cold. Mm-hmm. I think when that happens, I think people forget all about all this stuff. Now, I'm not saying forget about what's happened. I'm talking about forget about the whole social distancing and all that kind of stuff. Think about it, man. I know people say, well, this changed. It's changed right now. I don't know that it's changed for good.
See, I think it has.
And you may be right.
I think that hand sanitizer will be in constant demand everywhere. I think handshaking is over, and I think people are always going to be leery of how close the other person is to them.
Well, let me ask you this: if you've been vaccinated, and that means you don't have to worry about that, then what? And I'm asking, I'm not, what is the worry? I guess you don't know if the person's been vaccinated, but if you have, what is the worry? I guess is what I'm saying. I mean, and I'm not saying vaccines are bad or good. What I'm saying is that at that point in time, I'm just not sure. I mean, it's kind of like, getting the flu. People every year get the flu. People die every year from getting the flu. I'm not saying and belittling people dying. That's tragic. I don't mean that. What I mean is if it's relegated to that type of, cold, whatever you want to call it, what then? I mean, you still believe that it's changed completely? Because I know a lot to you. More people than not still walk up and want to shake hands that I come in contact with.
See, I don't cross many. At work, there are people that come in and they immediately let you know they have no interest in shaking hands. Now, I still get the arm bump or the back fist bump, but the handshaking has disappeared in the service lane. Right.
Well, let me say this. If somebody has just spent $75,000 on a pickup truck, they willing to shake a hand. And I'm not making fun of that. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, it's like, I don't throw my hand out there because you don't want to offend somebody during this time and think, but most people will tell you, hey, I'm cool. I'm good with it. What have you, everything's fine. So, I just, I think that, I'm glad we got those ladies coming back in. They were informative that morning.
Yeah, looking forward to kind of seeing where we're at. What was that, 8 weeks ago?
Yeah.
10 weeks ago?
I tell you who else I've got lined up got lined up, trying to get lined up for this week or next week on the telephone is Dr. Mackey.
Yeah.
I want to see what how things have changed since we last spoke with him, especially when it comes to the summer workouts and things like that.
They've changed things drastically in the last week.
They have. They have.
June 1st is now the date at which programs or student athletes can get back on campus and start working with their coaches. There is no limit to a number. Initially, they said in groups of 10, and that included coaches.
Yes.
And now that has been taken off the table. So hopefully that is another sign that things are trending in the right direction. And Of course, it'll be up to each individual school and staff or whatnot to have safety measures in place. I think that I mentioned this last week at the YMCA, the water fountains are turned off unless they've turned them on today. They've been off.
Right.
So if you want something to drink,
bring it with you.
And I think you'll see that at the different practice fields across the state as well.
Connie B said, it's a brand new virus, learning all the time, and that's right. And I agree with that, Connie. And human to human transmission is how all viruses. And that's kind of where I was going. What I was saying a while ago, they come out and say, well, we don't think you can, transmit it, by surface and leave and touching. But man, this thing just changes so much all the time. It's just hard to say. I guess what I mean is it's hard to have a lot of confidence when the information changes as fast as it does. And I say confidence, you know what I mean? I don't mean like people are all sitting here, biting their fingernails off. I just mean confidence in the information that we receive, because you got this, you got that, you got this and that. It's just so much of it. You don't know, you just don't know. So,
I'm more interested and I understand we're getting the band and the teams back on the field practicing, getting ready. I'm more interested to hear from Dr. Mackey on what he thinks will happen with the start date in the fall.
Well, I'm glad you said it, because I wanted to, that's where I was going a while ago. I think that you have two kind of, remember what he told us? He said it's going to be all or none.
That's what he said. Of course, that could have changed, but he did say that.
It could change.
He did say that back in the spring.
But I'm saying, obviously, Jefferson County, Mobile County, and Montgomery County, I think is right, have been the hardest hit in the state of Alabama. Mm-hmm. So will those three counties hold back the rest of the counties? I say, and I don't mean hold back in like it's their fault. I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying, is that, I wonder if that policy still remains in place, where they would look at that.
It'll be interesting, because I don't see a scenario where those school districts will be ready to start back at the designated start date. I think here locally, I think that it is very possible that we could meet that starting date. Very possible.
Kinsley said we go into Marvin's and she tells me no handshakes, and right away I'll start shaking hands. Well, you can't win them all. That's for sure. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he says. So I'm looking forward to that. So Connie B says she's been dreaming about ovals. Noma Lindsay, good morning to you. Says she's been social distancing. Her and her dad driving the boat, and she's on the bow now as we speak, watching from the water. She's at Bonnie Beach.
She's not in a boat. Maybe a bike.
So, do you know what happened? Did it just dry up?
I don't know. I was shocked that all the white sand was gone. That's what I was hanging my hat on, was surely I could walk up on the sandy white beach.
It just didn't happen.
It did not happen.
It just didn't happen. Well, stuff happens. So what time is it? It's 8:00. We talked a little bit about on Friday kicking some things back off this week.
You did.
Did we not?
You did. You promised these people a clue today.
Well, you think we ought to wait till after the show to put it out, or what do you think?
Well, let's just reset where we were at.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do a rundown of that.
In cash, in the golden egg is $1,550. That's $1,550. As part of the prize pack, Michael McCall at Murder Creek Distillery promised one bottle of every flavor of spirit they have. And then Roger Templeton at Juvenelli Winery has pledged a $100 gift certificate to his store. So already a pretty impressive list of prizes, and of course the cash, which totals $1,550.
Jesse James said, rumor has it that we're looking at schools not starting until late August to possibly after Labor Day. That's going back to like old school when we used to go to school.
We went after Labor Day.
Yeah, we didn't start back till after Labor Day.
That's right.
Matter of fact, I remember, was it one game or two games they always played before we went back to school? Football.
When I was there, we played the first Friday of school, and it was after Labor Day. We started on Tuesday, I guess, and then we played on Friday.
When we were in school, I remember we always played a game, and it seemed like it was like the Friday before the first full week of school started. So, yeah, I guess it'd be the same thing. You're talking about Tuesday. Yeah, so what kind of impact do you see that having on sporting events and things this fall, DJ? As someone that's watched it as long as you have.
I think it would be wise for each school to have a reputable company in place to provide streaming.
Well, I think that's I think you just hit the nail on the head. I'm gonna post Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. I'll have them all posted. I'll post them up after the show.
Is T.R. Miller graduating this week?
That's what somebody said last week. Was it the 29th?
It'll be Friday.
Is that Friday? No. Yeah, it'd be Friday. Yeah.
They're going to do it inside Municipal Stadium, just like W.S. Neal did at Neal and Flomaton did at F-Camp.
That's what I understand. But, the difference, I think, in what I hear about is I think Miller is requiring face masks.
As you enter.
Okay, not once they get in there.
Once they get in and sit down, I think they're going to be able to pull them down. But as that little funnel point where you're getting into the stadium,
yes,
I think you have to have your mask on. That's the way I understand it.
Okay, and that may be right. Yeah. What I've seen was bits and pieces on posted. How is is it 4 family members per graduate?
That's what I understand.
It looked like, now from the video that I got to see from Neal's graduation, it looked like that things went over pretty much without a hitch.
Same at F-Camp, it appeared.
Yeah. So
I'm glad they're able to do something. I mean, that's kind of tough.
Hey, it is. Well, they've had no class night. Do they still do baccalaureate?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't either, but I know they've not been able to have that. So there's a lot of things that they have missed out on. So let me ask you this. I've been meaning to ask you this. If you were let's just say, you're talking about college sports. If you were playing NCAA, what did they ever come out and do about eligibility for, the students that got cut off from, spring sports and that kind of thing?
They were given an extra year.
Okay.
But there's a caveat with it. I'm going to use baseball as an example. In baseball, you get 11.7 scholarships total. And you split that up among 25 or 28 guys normally.
Meaning nobody gets a full ride. Very
Not
rarely.
often. If you do, you've probably crippled your team.
Okay.
You may have gotten a great player, but in terms of balancing out your team, you're going to come up short. So in doing that, even though all those guys got an extra year, they didn't increase the scholarship total. So the incoming freshmen you have coming in,
they're going to take up.
Are going to add that 11.7 also. So you have so you have to ask yourself, and you're seeing this a lot. I've seen it with a couple of guys from Auburn and Alabama, guys who even were extended an extra year are choosing not to take it because it costs so much to go to school.
Wow.
And you're fixing to get an even smaller piece of the pie going the next year. So most of them have their degree and they're ready to get on with living.
Amanda Gwen says she's making a batch of brown sugared bacon. Are we partaking?
That's a yes.
That would be a absolute yes.
That's a yes.
Any kind of bacon, Amanda.
You had me at bacon.
Any kind of bacon. So let me ask you this. How many scholarships can a college football, D1 football team give out?
85.
Okay. Why such a discrepancy?
Title IX. Now, girls softballs, they get 25 or whatever the number is. You have to have just as many females on scholarship as males, so, or opportunities. So baseball took the hit.
They take it on the chin.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you're saying you would say girls softball, probably everybody on there is playing with a full scholarship.
Full scholarship.
As to where the guys are suffering, I'll say suffering. The guys aren't because of it. Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this: is there not enough money to go around?
At the bigger schools, there are. But if you got into the mid majors or even some of the Power Fives who don't generate the kind of money that the SEC does, then yeah, it becomes tight. I'll give you a perfect example. When I was, and this is 25, 30 years ago, when I was at Auburn, I had a friend who played on the baseball team, and they had played in a tournament that North Carolina State was playing at, a baseball tournament. And he was saying during the downtime that Auburn had all their meals catered in. They were in a position to do so, whether it was a brunch and then a dinner or whatever it was. Their food was provided by outside resources. The kids from NC State, he told me, were each given $7 per diem for the day. And NC State's a big name school. I mean, that's not, A&T Tech South. I mean, it's NC State. They were given $7 a day per diem. So that's not going to feed a person.
Wow.
But that's what they were in position to give. So you're not comparing apples to oranges when you talk about who can and who cannot. So that took me aback. Now, granted, that was a long time ago, but that was still NC State. I mean, that's a big name team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That speaking on that same level, do you think we're going to see a lot more homeschooling and people staying at home and going to college online now?
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I mean, think about dorm living.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's about as close as you can possibly get to each other, is it not?
That's pretty tight.
I mean, you got if you got a 2-man room or 2-woman room, yep. I mean, that's pretty close.
You're in there tight.
Yeah. And if things are changing and going to change,
I think there's something to be said, whether it's in our local schools or even secondary schools. There's something to be said.
Good morning, Sandy Kirkland.
For the on-campus
Matt
experience.
Hodge.
For the on-campus experience.
Oh, I do too. And so let me get back to this. So in saying and talking about school, they're talking about how many kids can be in a particular classroom. Did you see some of those guidelines?
I have not.
Well, let me say this. How are these school systems going to afford to put 6, 8? I mean, if you start spreading kids out 6 feet around, right? Mm-hmm. Perimeter. 6 feet perimeter. That's going to put what? Maybe 8, 10 kids in a class if you're lucky?
Well, if you bring back the whistle chairs, I think you get 15 in there.
Well, that's a great point. But I'm saying, but at this point, here's the thing. How does a school system, and I don't just mean ours, I mean any school system, how do they overcome that shortfall when it comes to money to be able to provide more teachers, more classroom space, more, because if that's the guidelines, it has to be met. And right now, I'd say both our local school systems, if you find a class with less than 20 kids in it, I would say you were doing well. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's probably the number, 18 to 20. I think they try to keep in there, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you take that number and half it, because you'd have to be able to follow these guidelines, how does that work?
That's an answer I don't have. It takes somebody a lot smarter than me to figure that out.
I mean, it's just like bus drivers. They're talking about maybe doing schools in shifts. But my only issue with that is, I say mine, I mean, the only thing I think of with that is, that's great. But if you do it in shifts, how are you going to provide bus drivers and pay for these bus drivers when they can't hardly find them right now? I mean, it's a tough thing. You constantly, every year, see a bus, around town or something, hiring bus drivers, which, hey, listen, it's great advertising. I mean, great way to advertise your hiring. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying the fact that they don't have enough to pick from. I mean, they've had some times where I know you've seen where coaches are actually have drove buses in the morning and drove those bus routes. Mm-hmm. So I'm just concerned with the amount of shortfall that each state has money wise right now, with the sales tax, revenue being off, with everything being off. How do you combat that in this, type of situation? And the next thing I go to is there's also been some talk of, maybe providing online courses for these kids to take, even though you'd still be a student at T.R. Miller or W.S. Neal or Atmore, Escambia County or what have you, but you would take these classes online. I'm like you, there's something to be said for the campus experience, but if they do offer, and they offer that now somewhat, but I'm talking about if they offer it widespread, where it's, does it cost you anything? It's nothing, this is what you do. Like you said about sporting events. I mean, it's just gonna change. That would change things dramatically.
A lot of questions.
It is. I remember you saying this one time. Football is a contact sport. That picture that I've seen you post several times. How do you keep that guy's spit and slobber from blowing all out over you when you blow a guy up like he got blown up?
You don't. There's an inherent risk that you just understand that you're putting yourself in front of every time you go out there. But it'll be it's going to be interesting. And of course, I think a lot of the things we talked about change and
I agree,
trends.
Steve Layton. Steve Layton said that's a great point. It is. Don't you agree with that?
What's that?
The future of brick and mortar universities is going to be challenged even more by this incident and technology.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. I think the days of student populations at places like Auburn and Alabama of the 20,000 plus strong, I think those days may be numbered.
Well, when you look at the cost associated with that, and you look at what you could probably do it for in an online setting, it's going to be staggering, the discrepancy there, I believe.
I think it is. And let me say this too. If you go to Auburn online, your diploma doesn't say I went to Auburn online, or I went to Alabama online, or I went to Tennessee, or I went to Georgia, whatever. It doesn't say that.
I think here locally at Coastal, I think that you can get your degree from Huntington.
Yeah, you can.
I think there's a program there set up where you can do almost all of it, if not all of it, online and get a degree from Huntington in several different disciplines.
I think we're going to see more and more of that. I really do. I'm just interested to see what happens with that. I also, and I know I'm kind of hitting you with this without talking about it prior, but I think we need to go around and maybe speak to Coach Hubbard, maybe Coach Williams, and kind of get their perspective on, things they're doing and looking at doing to be able to follow the guidelines and things like that for, summer workouts and getting ready for the fall. I mean, can they have contact right now? I mean,
June 1st.
So June 1st, there can be contact. Mm-hmm. Do they have to wear masks?
If I called myself reading the guidelines, I actually posted some of them to the Sports Network page.
Right.
And I think the hope and the wish is that as you can and where you can, wear a mask. I don't know that you can wear a mask playing football.
I don't either.
I know you can't wear a mask playing in the band.
No.
I mean, a lot of it is left to the local decision makers to decide what is applicable and what's not.
Right.
But they want you to employ safety as much as you can. So there's a lot of gray area there. But I think we could get Hub and Andrew to call in for sure.
Catherine Watts, you see that?
Whoa. We'd still be there. I'll tell you something. We would still be there. Catherine, I will always be indebted. She invested in my son, and he wasn't the only one. She's one of the throwbacks. She gets in there with them, and she holds them accountable and makes them do what they're supposed to do. Thank you so much.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. if everybody wants to get to the, let's see here, what's Jesse James saying? The Escambia County Schools has had online schooling for a couple of years. You're still on roll at the school and can participate in anything you want at the school, including graduation.
Well, there you go.
That means you can play sports and all that, but you don't go there physically every day. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Still count towards the numbers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Okay, so here's the deal. If y'all ready to start the Dash for Cash 2020, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you're ready to start it, you'll need to start liking and sharing this video and get as many people in here as we can to get ready for this clue and get ready for us to kick this thing off. Let me say this, and let me say this very plainly and clearly. Number one, it is not on private property. Let me say that again for those in the back. It is not on private property. Do not go plundering through a neighborhood or someone's yard or house or barn or a storage building, whatever. Don't go plundering through their personal stuff. It is not there.
Unless you're at John Robert Fountain's house.
Well, then that's fair game. Okay. Or Chief's. Chief McGugan said it's fine to come plunder around his house. Apparently, and apparently he doesn't mind people driving by over there and, surveying the situation. At least that's what I heard. Seemed like somebody posted, or somebody said something about that. But anyway, let's like and share it. Let's get this thing out there. Let's get it out on the, let's get everybody out there on the, to know, hey, we're about to do this. We're about to make this thing happen. And the expansion of broadband to rural Alabama will provide education, medical, and business opportunity. Yeah, hey, that's a great point, Steve. Great point. Oclack, what's going on, Oclack? There he is, King Kane in the house.
Morning, King.
Yeah, King said it right too. You ain't got sense enough to know how to wash your hands and clean things thoroughly. I do think that one good thing that has come out of this is more and more people are very cognizant now about washing their hands.
Yeah, I think so.
You agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
I do think that's a good thing. So, good morning, Aaron Crawford. How's everything out at Crawford's K9 this morning? Hope everything's well. So, like I said, like and share. We're going to get this thing out, the oval, the map. Again, talk about it like this, that, I just want to, make it real clear. If you get messed up, if you get caught up in somebody's yard, if you get caught up in somebody's personal space, personal private areas, don't call me. Don't blame it on us. We didn't have anything to do with it, because how many times have we said it in the past? It's not there.
It's not there.
You'll know it when you find it. You'll know it when you see it. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to ask about it. You don't have to. Oh, man. Oh, there you go, Connie. A special extra charge.
Special.
For breathers of good air. Breathers of good air. Well, okay. Hey, there's a lot of those kind of people around, let me tell you. For sure. Good morning, Tiffany Presley. Does private property include the marquee downtown? That's public property.
That is public property.
And I'm not saying that's off limits. Let me make one other thing real clear. It is not on the train trestle. I'll never forget the first year of people climbing, literally walking out on that trestle. If anybody thinks that I am crazy enough to walk out on that trestle and hide something, number one, y'all don't know me very well. Number two, I do love trains, but I don't love them that much.
Not that much.
I know. I don't have a stand by me moment. out there in the middle of that thing, and all of a sudden look up and here comes the daggum 815. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. So you know, at any rate, you know, I just want to make that clear. The boundaries we talked about last week, that will be on the map. You'll see it on the map. There's several places it can be, but guess what? We've took it back like it was the first year, back to the greater Bruton area. You know, can it be in a business? Yeah, it can be in a business. Can it be in a business? Maybe. Maybe not. You know, but let me say this. You know, I'm just saying up front that if someone tells you, "Hey, get off my property," you need to get off their property. You know, I got calls and I'm like, listen, I've made it pretty clear to everybody that's not how it is. So, you know, that's just what we do. But I want to make sure everybody understands. Yeah, train tracks are private property. Now, off to the sides of the train tracks, you know, but not on them. And nobody gonna say, you know, I'm not gonna say that for sure. But anyway, tell you what we'll do, and then after the show, we'll post this up, okay? And it'll be posted in the Drive Time group, or you gonna post it here on BMP? Where do you think we ought to post it?
You call it. You the shot caller. Are you fixing to read the clue?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Put it wherever you want to put it.
And listen, here's the thing, too. Let me say this. You know, it's $15.50 worth of cash, and how much you said? And some other prizes from Micah and Roger Templeton. Understand, again, I want to make this real clear. We are not in any way trying to say that people need to give us money, that they need to do this. That's not. If you want to participate, if you'd like to participate, hey, great, no problem. You know, it's that's go ahead. But certainly understand we're not, you know, we're not asking anybody to, we're not, you know, telling anybody they've got to. If you want to, hey, come on with it. So, life and limb shouldn't be required to participate. Well, there you go. I mean, I hear you. All right, so are you ready, DJ?
Yes, sir.
All right, riddle me this. With so much info about distance and dissension, let's have some fun, so you need to pay attention. Somewhere hidden in the oval below, picture forthcoming, is what you all have been waiting and wanting. That's right, the dough. This time around, there'll be no stopping, only hunting and thinking. When you find it, shopping. Out there in the day and somewhere in the night, this treasure you hunt for is in plain sight. Look for a place where you can walk, talk, and ride. A place you can see, a place you can hide. For there's a spot off 3 and 1, over and under the moon and the sun. The beginning, I'd say, is the best place to start. Down the hill with the quickness, the trees, the bark. There you will find, like many times before, what's that in the distance? I hear, but not sure. I'd look for the place where time just crawls. Use caution while searching, don't want you to fall. For this is a place of busy and slow. Easy now, remember, steady as you go. Now, since this is the very first clue, where the cash is hidden, I've already told you. Like every clue before, I've told you exactly where it's at. Take your time, be careful, and put on your thinking cap. Happy hunting. First clue, Dash for Cash 2020.
You're going to post that a little bit later?
I'm going to post it here shortly after the show.
Okay. And that's going to be found where?
I think we'll post it. I think we'll post it in the Drive Time group.
Okay.
I think we'll do the shows here because this page is public. The Drive Time group you got to be a member of, and I think that the Drive Time family If you want to be part of the Drive Time family, and which everybody here is, obviously, come on. Look at there. T. Young, Trevor Youngblood in the house. Good morning, Trevor.
What's up, Trevor?
So there you have it. Clue number 1 is out. And maybe this will give some folks time to get out and have a good time and roam around and enjoy the outdoors and enjoy and partake of some of the local businesses here in town and really have a big time with this. So you never know what's going to happen from day to day. Beth Ackerman, Dash for Cash is back. Yes, it is.
$15.50 in cash.
15
as we speak.
50.
When you find it, contact Ken or myself. We'll get grouped up, go live, announce and recognize the winner, and have a big time with it. But you'll know it when you see it, right?
You will know it when you see it. You don't need, what'd you go through last week? You don't need a shovel.
Don't need a shovel.
You don't need a rake.
Don't need a rake.
You don't need a pitchfork.
Don't need a pitchfork.
This one you might need. Then again, you might not.
As long as it's the weekend.
And if her name starts with a T and ends with an Atiana.
The pot got splashed.
What?
60.
Well, sure you can, Aaron.
Did we just have a pot splash? Well,
Yep.
guess what? There you go. Pot got splashed. Another prize. I'm not sure how to do.
Holistic crate.
Okay. I couldn't see it. It's a little far from me this morning.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. With Crawford's Canine service out there, and of course, they do a great job. If you need your dogs worked with and trained and helped and learn how to do what they need to do, y'all give them a call. Check them out. Joseph Turner, good morning to you. There she is, Ashley Morris. Good morning, Ashley.
Can you still buy a ticket to the Dirty 30 Jam?
Oh, yeah.
Any left?
Yeah. But I'll tell you this, at the rate that they're selling, and, I say, get ready.
I've been watching some of the.
That's all I can tell you.
I'm going to say this in the right way. I don't want hardship for our friend Cameron or any other entertainer. I do not. I want them to be flush. I want them to be full. But every time I see one of their performances get canceled, I can't help but think if their first big time back happens to be the Dirty 30 Jam, what that experience might turn into.
Oh, I think it's going to turn into complete and total hashtag party. I think we came up with a name years ago, hashtag Team Pandemonium. You remember that? I think it's going to be that way. I mean, it really could. So, Nista's Holistic Alternatives. There you go. Yes, Steve said it best. Y'all, please be respectful of other people and other people's property. And T. Young says, first day back and he gets this. He ain't recovered from the last one.
Well, it's old, Trevor. It's out.
Sherry Weaver, OG, better late than never. Good morning, Sherry. I tell you what, Sherry kind of organized a gathering, if you will, over there Friday night after the graduation, and looked like they had a big time and big fun sending off the graduates over from WS Neal. Looked like that was a big time.
Yeah, I think they had a good time.
Let me say this as well, Raj. Good morning to you, man. And Raj wants to know about a blow pop.
I wouldn't know anything about them.
I want to say this to my good friend Raj, and I'm going to be putting this out with the links to the Dirty 30 Jam. If you know people that are coming, you better tell them to start booking the rooms now, because let me tell you, and I think Raj will tell you this, they're going to book fast.
Need to come in on the 17th.
Come in on Friday. That's right.
Get up, get you a good breakfast locally, maybe a good lunch as well. Plan to go deep into the night that Saturday, and then stay the 18th as well. So a 2-night book, 2-night stay there at our new sleeping establishment, and I think you're going to be pleased. You
will be pleased. Beth, you could get them on Boss Man Productions on this Facebook page. If you click on the event, there's a link there to get tickets, and you can get them. They're $15 a piece. And let me tell you something, $15 for this amount of music is well worth the money.
It'll be 8 or 10 hours worth of entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And not just and great entertainment.
Great.
Now let me say this too, and I want to make this real clear. This would only be possible, and is only possible because of the cooperation, the support of Mayor Yank Lovelace, of Connie Baggett, the city council, all the good folks at the city. The mayor has a vision for the city, that he wants something going on in our city. Obviously, we all know that we've had these different things, with the virus and that kind of thing that's kind of hindered a lot of things from going on here. But, again, I want to make that real clear. I'll make it real clear as well that we couldn't do what we do daily, without the cooperation, the help, and support of the city. And again, they don't have to do the things that they do for our community. I want to touch on something while we're talking about this. I see people a lot, and they make comments and things about, we should be doing something, spending money on something other than flowers. But let me say this, in government, and I think you can speak to this probably better than I can, DJ, because you've been the EMA and all that, with that part of it. But when something is, when federal monies are earmarked for certain things, is there anything you can do about it to put it to something else? It's my understanding that you cannot.
Well, first of all, we do spend money on more things than just flowers.
Well, sure.
I mean, that is just one of those cop-outs of not having anything to do. It has been apparent since Mayor Lovelace has come in, along with the city council, that quality of life is of the utmost importance.
Absolutely.
And that is one of the things that is appealing as industries decide to relocate or services are looking to relocate to an area. Quality of life is very important. Now, talking about the money set aside for different things and earmarked for different things, there is some gray area there sometimes, depending on how creative you can be.
Right.
And we're lucky to have people like Steve, like Connie, that can take the guidelines and interpret them in a way that makes it applicable.
Sure.
So we actually tap into money that other communities can't, because we have people that have vision, that have foresight, and that can do that.
They think big.
Yeah, they think big.
They think big.
And
That's
I'm
right.
I'm not a big thinker like that. I'm not.
Yank is a big thinker.
He's a big thinker.
He is.
But to sit here, and I've heard it, just like you have, want to spend money on more on something besides flowers. That's just a piece of it. That's a piece of it. It's a
in a very small piece of it.
And some of the monies they get, you got to plant something. But the town presents in a way that is appealing to the eye. There's no question about that. The different things and projects that the city gets behind and sponsor allows us as a rural community to do things that other rural communities don't. I mean, you think about some of the outlying areas that are our comp, that we would compare to. I would say we're pretty progressive.
Oh,
I would say that we got things going on that others don't.
There's no doubt.
I'm not taking jabs at those communities.
No.
I'm putting a feather in the cap of our city leaders and the things that we're able to do. So the efforts are ongoing. They're endless, and we certainly appreciate them. And in saying that, 31's getting paved. Be prepared for that for the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
I think they had a 2 or 3 week timeline on it. They may get washed out this week. A lot of rain in the forecast.
Right.
So continue to be patient. Sometimes with progress, you have to have some patience. And I know we'll all be very pleased when that project is completed.
Sarah Williamson made a great point. It's usually the ones not doing anything to better the community that has something to say. My thing is this. Everything you just said, I agree with. It's about quality of life. It's about making life better for our community.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the city presents well. You come through town, it looks great. The new hotel is just absolutely off the chain. Did you saw the walkthrough that Clobber and Rob did, didn't you? When he did he went and did a video,
No, I didn't.
a walkthrough with guided by Raj.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you something. It is amazing. It's an amazing place. It really is. Hey, Hal, I'm wondering if there's a way that we could have blueberry ice cream at the Dirty 30 Jam. Kind of a little incorporation of the Blueberry Festival, if you will.
We lost the Blueberry Festival.
Right.
We want the ice cream, Hal.
Yeah.
The Chamber's not going to get off the hook like that. We want the ice cream, Hal.
You better make that happen, Hal.
Come on, Colonel.
Come on now. You better make that happen. I mean, we're not going to stand for not having. Let me tell you something. Don't get us started on ice cream. If you thought tartar sauce was bad.
And I'm going to tell you something.
Let me tell you something. We can get going on ice cream and stay on it for days.
People from here that haven't been here in a while, and I'm thinking about those such as Jefferson Martin or Hayeswood or whoever it may be that may be coming in for this, I think that would be a great homecoming gift for them, not to mention how I think it would be pleasing to those coming into our community for the first time. Blueberry ice cream would be great, Hal. Make it happen.
It would be. I'd love to make that happen. That'd be awesome. It really would. And we are going to have food vendors there. Yes. Chef Adam mentioned that a while ago. Yes, we're going to have food vendors there. I've been contacted by several. So, yes, there's going to be. Not sure how many. We definitely want to try to keep them like different, the types of food. So definitely not sure exactly what or how many yet. We just lost. Hold on a second. They can hear you.
Okay. So the audio's still hot. Okay. Well, I'm going to say something then. I'm going to take the opportunity to say something. I like the flowers. I like them. They change them out every so often. I think it looks good. I like the lights at night. I'm looking forward. I think Adam told me that this Thursday will be the, what is it? What do they call it? Bruton Lights, Bruton After Dark, whatever it is. That's going to start back this Thursday at Camp 31. There in the little upstairs area that Larry has revamped. Looking forward to getting that going. The picture says change the battery pack. Is that is that what okay.
That's what I'm working on.
Yeah. But anyway, Clue 1 is out. Okay, you're back up over there on your computer. Clue 1 is out. Tickets for sale ongoing for the Dirty 30 Jam.
I did charge the battery pack. It just, for whatever reason, the thing that operates that, I've got to actually, anyway, it doesn't matter. I got it fixed. So go ahead, DJ. I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. I was done.
So, I mean, we got DMS Sound, David Maddox, of course, D-Mad in with us this morning. Got David coming out with the big stage and the big sound system. Big light show. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be something to see. I think everybody is gonna be extremely satisfied with what's going on once you see it. Anyway, I think everybody will be really, really, really happy to see what we've got going on, and should be a big time. I'm looking for a big time. I know you're looking for a big time, and hey, we've got a lot going on that weekend. Book now. Get up with Raj. Get on, Raj. If you put the link there, what is it? bestwestern.com, or I'm not real sure, but if you want to put the link up, put it up and let's see what's going on there and let people know. Tickets are $15 a piece. Hot Rod, anyway, Jesse James.
For planning purposes,
yes.
Will tickets be on sale the day of the event, or is it all going to be a pre-sale leading into that day, leading into the 18th?
Tickets will be on sale at the gate as well.
Okay.
Yes. So they're on sale now, okay, online. Absolutely. But they are also will be sold at the gate. You will be able to buy them at the gate. But here's the thing. And I'm saying this in a good way. If it's a problem, it's a great problem. There's only so many people that place can hold. Okay, so just remember that. We get to a point to where that's why I'm saying
ticket sales are subject to being cut off at some point.
Yes,
yeah.
Get tickets now while you can, just in case, because if Chief Salter shows up, which he's the fire chief, and says that's it, well, guess what?
That's it.
That's it. So get them now, and while you can, and just make sure that, like I said, the thing is that when you got all this music going to happen in one place for $15, I challenge you to go anywhere and find that.
You won't.
I don't think you can.
You won't.
And I'm like you. I think with some of these acts, this might be their first time back playing in a setting like this, and I think they're going to be ready to.
They're going to be ready.
They're going to be ready.
They're going to be primed.
I can tell you.
They're going to be ready to cut
They're going to be ready. There you go. Best wetting. bestwestern.com/Bruton. That is the link to put out to let people know that you need to book a hotel, need to book a room, get with Raj and the good folks there. They can take care of you. I've been hit up a bunch prior to all this COVID-19 stuff about people bringing in campers and that kind of thing. I think we're going to hold off this year on that just because there's too much planning involved with having to go into that to try to make that happen in this short of a time. So I think we're probably just going to hold off with that this year. Had all this not happened, we wouldn't have. But it's just one of those things where it takes a little planning to do that. $15 is cheap. I agree with that. So anyway, looking forward to that day. Like I said, for those of y'all that were at the first Dash Bash, if you thought that first note that the Pygmies hit down there, if you think that hit you in the mouth or the chest, get ready, because you ain't heard anything like you're about to hear down there that night. I don't know that East Bruton's heard anything like they're getting ready to hear.
It's going to be a full-fledged rock show.
It's going to be a full-fledged rock show. No doubt. So, and plenty of good times. Speaking of ice cream, I've had somebody reach out to me, probably going to have an ice cream vendor there, selling ice cream. So I think that'll be
July 18th, probably a good idea.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. I said, what could go wrong there? Alcohol, ice cream, heat. There's nothing can go wrong there. That's a good thing to have. So, but yeah, it should be a good time. I am always looking forward to the Pygmy show because it's just always fun. I'm really looking forward to Telluride. I haven't got to see those guys in a very long time, and I'm looking forward to that. But I'm gonna tell you, I am extremely excited about the Prince group. That is. I can't tell you how much fun that's going to be. It's
going to be a day of it. Tusk is going to be good.
It is. And like you said it last week, there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
Because Telluride kind of does the whole Southern rockish kind of thing. So you kind of got the old school kind of country Southern rock kind of thing there. Tusk, obviously, the Fleetwood Mac, tribute group, if you will. The Prince group speaks for itself. Love is War. They're great. Great thing to sit and watch and kick back. And Chrissy and Max do a great job with what they do. And then, of course, when it's time to have nothing but a good time, all I can tell you is pull your hat down and hold on, because it's going to get interesting. Very interesting. Gator tournament in the creek. Oh, make it loud enough I can listen from my nice, cool pool. No, I'm gonna make it loud enough where you're gonna be there where you can hear it, Ashley. So, well, good morning, Mother. I agree with you. I love the flowers as well. And Jesse James said a while ago, I'm amazed at the watering system they have with some. Have you seen that? It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
I'm more amazed at how often they change them out. I mean, they're
on top of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw a video that they put out not long ago that showed the flowers coming in.
Yeah.
That was a pile of them. Hot Rod said last time he saw them was in the 80s in Auburn. I think you and a lot of people are going to probably be in that same boat. But guess what? They're coming to Bruton, Alabama, Saturday, July 18th.
It only costs $15 to see them.
Yeah. So if you like that, if you like Telluride and you want to come out and party, come on.
I've said this, and you just mentioned each of the groups is a draw in and of to themselves.
They are.
We could just have any one of them, and it'd be a heck of a good time.
That's right.
I think you're going to see more people travel from greater distances for Telluride than the other groups, only because you never get to see them in their original setup.
How about this? Pot just got splashed. Raj wants to donate a free night at the Best Western to the Pot.
How about that?
Worth over $100. Must be 21 and taxes are not included. Room for up to 2 adults. How about that?
How about that?
That's going to be something. Cody, I don't think Desdemona's going to show up. I think they're still on hiatus. Let's just say that. Thank you, Raj. We appreciate that, man.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That's cool.
It is. And I tell you what we ought to do. We ought to go meet Raj up there one day and do Raj and Rob kind of did a walkthrough, if you will. We ought to get do a guided virtual tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where people could take and, see everything and know. I'm going to tell you something. That's a nice hotel.
It's very nice.
I mean, it is nice.
I know somebody who has stayed there and gave it a 5-star rating.
But I can believe it. I really can believe it.
It has started, Jennifer.
When does the dash start? Yeah, it started.
It has started.
It
Clue
has
number 1
started.
has been given. It'll be posted after the program.
Yep.
So get out and find that golden egg.
Like and share, like and share, like and share. Y'all know how this works. Let's see. Pat Dog would love to buy some of the ones that they pull out. So, yeah, there you go. I don't know what they do with the flowers that they pull out. I'm not real sure.
There may be an opportunity there.
Yeah. But I tell you what, y'all like and share, like and share, like and share. Let people know what's going on. Hashtag Dash for Cash 2020. Let them know. And I'll tell you what we'll do. You mean to read it one more time?
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I start seeing a bunch of likes and a bunch of sharing going on, I will read that clue. D-Mad, I'm not sure everyone realizes just how big this is going to be. I hope.
I can't tell you in numbers. We'll see. Time will tell. But in terms of having a good time and just the setup itself, it'll be the closest thing since
1980.
Harvest Jam 1. The Harvest Jam 1.
Yeah.
They certainly had some star power lined up in that one, and the people came en masse. But this is going to be a good time also. You need to be a part of it.
That's right. Yes, Timmy, there'll be a map posted with the clue.
I'd like to know what the tickets were, how much the tickets cost in 1980. I bet the Colonel will know.
Hal Whitman had a picture of one not long ago. Hal, if you're still in here, how much was it?
What was the ticket to the Harvest Jam in 1980, 40 years ago?
I want to say, was it $20?
I don't know.
Or $10?
I don't know.
I don't remember. That was 40 years. Was it
40 years ago?
40 years ago.
Yep.
God almighty knows. That is crazy, man. That is just nuts. It doesn't seem that it's been like that long ago, does it?
40 years ago. I was 10.
You remember the amount of people that were out there at that place?
40 years ago.
I'm going to tell you something. It was just crazy. The city gives them away, the flowers that change over. Volunteers appreciate to help remove the old ones.
Wow, cool.
There you go.
So if you want them, it sounds like you can get some.
Hot Rod with an announcement here. Night Danger has to be canceled due to conflicts with in the band. Well, you're welcome, Hot Rod. Oh, all right. So here we go. Let's give the clue out one more time, and then, like I said, here in a little while, we're going to post this up. We're going to post the links up for you to for those of you that have pledged to put some money in. We're going to post those links up as well. So that way you can put it up and put it in. Hey, if you want to put in and don't want to be anonymously or whatever, hey, let us know if you want to be recognized. We're going to recognize everybody puts in unless you tell us not to. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So here we go. Clue number 1. With so much info about distance and dissension, let's have some fun, so you need to pay attention. Somewhere hidden in the oval below is what you all have been wanting. That's right, the dough. This time around, no, there'll be no stopping. Only hunting and thinking, and when you find it, shopping. Out there in the day and somewhere in the night, this treasure you hunt for is in plain sight. Look for a place where you can walk, talk, and ride. A place where you can see, a place where you can hide. Oh, good. For there's a spot off 3 and 1, over and under the moon and the sun. The beginning, I'd say, is the best place to start. Down the hill with a quickness, the trees, the bark. There you will find, like many times before, what's that in the distance? I hear, but not sure. I'd look for the place where time just crawls. Use caution while searching. Don't want you to fall. For this is a place of busy and slow. Easy now, remember, steady as you go. Now, since this is the very first clue, where the cash is hidden, I've already told you. Like every clue before, I've told you exactly where it's at. Take your time, be careful, and put on your thinking cap. Happy hunting. There it is again.
A lot of information.
A lot of information. And
you just told them exactly where it is.
Exactly.
You'll know it when you see it.
And I did the last 2 years. And if you remember the first year after it was found, if you went back and read every clue, did it not tell you exactly where it was at?
$10.75.
Well, there you go.
So we've gone up 4 and a case quarter in 40 years.
4.
That ain't bad.
4 and a case quarter.
That ain't bad.
No, man. Especially listen. Now here,
$1 a decade.
Listen, we don't.
$1 a decade.
We don't have Alabama. We don't have the Oak Ridge Boys. We don't have the Charlie Daniels Band. We don't have Sylvia.
We do not.
We don't have Delbert McClinton. But we do have
David Lee Roth, Prince, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. Christian McVie.
Greg Allman.
I
mean, so.
We got all that and more.
Yeah.
How about that?
Tit for tat.
I mean, we got a little bit of Journey, a little bit of Guns N' Roses.
Yep.
A little bit of Kiss, a little bit of Prince, or a whole lot of Prince, a whole lot of Southern rock. You just never know. You just never know. But I know one thing, and this much I can assure you, it's going to be a big time Saturday, July 18th. And now, if you find the prize, you got a free night thrown in the pot, courtesy of Best Western Inn in Bruton, our good friend Raj Palmer. Thank you, Raj. We appreciate it. You know what that means.
I hear the music.
Time to go.
Appreciate everybody being in with us this morning. Get out and find that golden egg. First clue's out. It'll be posted later. If you have some time to waste tomorrow, get back in here with us again. Who knows what may come up tomorrow?
You never know.
Who knows?
You never know.
Y'all have a great day, great week. Be safe. Be kind. See y'all tomorrow. Love y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to the Dirty 30's #1 broadcast, Drive Time with DJ and KJ. Tune in next time when you'll hear DJ say,
Good morning and welcome to this edition of The Feel Good.